Hello everybody, Mikey Kung Pao here. Okay, we're just gonna do a quick little thing on Jodi Arias' latest penalty phase tonight. And let's turn that off so it's not bothering us. You remember the other day, everybody's been so kind to us about that little thing we did, Bel Soprano and I did, but I want to give Kawaii Skeptic all the credit because, you know, that was a difficult little video piece and I don't have the ability to do that kind of stuff. So, and she also creator for that whole thing. I never would have thought it up. So thank you, Kawaii Skeptic, and thank you, CroakerQueen, for putting all this stuff up for us. We see gavel to gavel coverage. Don't have to get our Jodi Arias news from the talking head on all the media circus and all that, right? So anyway, if you watch that little song that we did, the Shady Bunch, okay, back in that era, it occurred to me today, back in that era, there was another group out called the Partridge Family. Now, you gotta be about 100 years old to remember it, but there was this guy on there named David Cassidy, and he was doing these songs for little 12-year-old girls, all thought he really hot and everything, you know, kind of like Justin Bieber today. Excuse me, very sore throat. But you know how I am, some lyrics popped into my head from one of his songs. Remember that song he'd do, I think I love you, you know, and the little girls would scream and everything. I got a little bit of a lyric pop in my head for Jodi Arias to sing. So if you can imagine her doing a song, you know, like for that guy, that guy were doing, this would how it go. I'm just going to sing a little bit, and my voice terrible compared to Barrel. So don't be too hard on me, okay? And it go like this. This morning I awoke from sleep in horror, 'cause I had an awful nightmare that I was just an aimless average girl. It made me want to hurl. I'm glad I was just dreaming, so I could go on scheming. I'm the center of the world. I think I love me. She thinks she loves her. Okay, and then it go on and on like that, you know. So anyway, that's what her allocution today made me think about. She thinks she loves her. In fact, I know she loves her. In fact, if she get a death sentence and go into death row in a little 12-by-7 cell, the thing that will be to her advantage is that her cellmate, if they don't have cellmates there, but her cellmate will be somebody that she loves more than anything else in the whole world, won't it? So that will be her cellmate. Her. Okay. Anyway, in honor of, you know, just a couple weeks ago, what a good daughter Jodi is to her mom. I still have this Mother Day balloon. See that there? Happy Mother Day, Mom. So since Jodi don't get to go out and celebrate it, in honor of her throwing Mom under the bus today and everything, once again, saying how horrible and abusive her mom is, you know, the one that stand by her through the whole trial and all that, I thought I would bring the balloon in, you know. Anyway, I got a couple things I want to say about kind of overall for Jodi, because she has some mitigating factors, you know. Nobody wanted to stand up and testify on her defense for some reason. I wonder why that is. Anyway, she's going to say it because Juan's so mean and everything. I don't think I have much to do about that, though. I don't think that Daryl Brewer worried about Juan, people like that. I don't think Jodi Mom worried about Juan. But I want to show you guys some family photos and things, and some mitigating things. Because Jodi showed some of that to us today, okay? First thing I want to show you a real cute baby. Take a look at that cute baby. See that baby? Shouldn't we have sympathy for that baby? You know who that baby is? I'll tell you. That'd be Adolf Hitler. Don't you think we should give him some mitigation? Cute baby like that. And do you know that Hitler was an artist? It's true. Absolutely true. See, Hitler had, this is one of his art pieces, his original. See, you got this signature down there. Adolf Hitler, you know, and Hitler did a lot of art, actually better than Jodi, because he didn't trace for his. She do the 5-year-old thing where she tracing Frank Sinatra and all them images from magazines. Here's another image that Hitler did, you know, from a place that he liked. Unfortunately, you know, his party blew it all up at some point. They blew up most of Europe. That was the sad thing. He did these really nice buildings and cities and cityscapes. And then he went and blew it all up. You know, kind of a sad waste. But anyway, don't you think we ought to have more sympathy for him? If he were still around, wouldn't you want to, like, keep him alive because he got all these mitigating factors? And in fact, if Hitler could have been kept around and kept alive, think how much good he could have done if we just had him in jail or something, compared to what he did. Because, see, today, we have people like this members of the Nazi party still that really like Hitler. This lady here named her kid Hitler, okay, Adolf. Okay, she's part of the Nazi party. And think how many more people he could have influenced to become Nazi party members and everything if only he could have stayed around, maybe in jail, and written books like Jody want to do, and started little book clubs and, little Nazi party book clubs and things like that. And that's what Jody wants to do. She wants to spread her ideas, all her evil and everything. She wants to spread that to the prison population and make sure they're all indoctrinated, and they can go out and spread it to the rest of society when they get out. So I think we got to keep this in mind. And also, I want to show you a really nice family photo with lots of people. But this is a different group, okay? See that nice family photo there? Where's the guy? Okay, it's just the guy up here in the corner. They all kind of belong to him, okay? That would be Charles Manson and all his happy female followers, They had names like Seasick Voyager and Moped Pothead and stuff like that. All them squirry other names them girls had. They were the followers of Charles Manson, okay? So, anyway, we have to consider these mitigating factors when we're considering all this stuff. What did we learn about Jody today when she spoke? Weren't you impressed with her dictation style and everything? No emotion? I thought that was great. Let's say what she had to say, besides that she loved herself so much and is the center of all the universe. She say that everyone, let's see, she's a brilliant poet and a great artist. And I believe that she talked about or Wilmot on her behalf, talked about all the things that she would be doing if she hadn't been running off committing murder. Now, I don't know how she would do all these doctor, lawyer, and everything things that Wilmot thinks she's going to do, because she never bothered to finish high school. And her IQ actually just barely above average for the most part. But Jody do think she Einstein, and, so maybe we got to believe her, like all them other lies she told. What else? We learned that she likes to edify. She wants to edify people, several of them in jail contemporaneously. And she's interested in her family, she weren't interested in them before, but suddenly she got a great interest. What she really wanted to stay alive for is not for herself, of course. It's so that her mother won't suffer any pain, from her suicide and all that kind of thing. So, these are all mitigating factors. And one thing we learn is that Jody's incapable of taking responsibility for her crime, or showing any remorse, or saying any genuine apology to the family. And we also learn that she wants to spend the rest of her life, for many decades, tormenting Travis' family, day after day, every day. So we're going to look at a few clips real quick, then we come back, then we be done. I got no time tonight. Just got back from a trip away, a few days away, and got to get to bed, go to work early in the morning. Okay, everybody, let's look at a couple things real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Arias had intended to present the testimony
of Patty the Pothead. Now watch how Jody get really pissed off, and right down here she's gonna fling a little balled up piece of paper because society need a scapegoat, and so they forced Patty not to come. In fact, they forced everyone not to come and testify for her.
Of Patricia Womack.
Oh, I'm mad. You see
Ms.
that?
Womack was supposed to testify regarding the abusive environment Miss Arias grew up in, as well as the abuse she suffered as an adult. Ms. Womack is unavailable to testify.
Yeah, and also Jody Mom unavailable to testify, even though she's in the courtroom. And everyone else who were going to testify for her unavailable. How about that? Wonder what that mean. Okay, anyway, let's move on. Okay, I got to get this exhibit just right. Just the infamous T-shirt I gotta use to flip the bird to the jury.
Ms. Arias, please wait to begin.
And to everybody else.
The jurors needs to have a new headset.
Yeah, they need a headset that will block your voice, so they don't have to hear anything, because they're gonna get really sick otherwise. Let's see what she have to say though when she do start talking. Let's get up here.
Implement a recycling program.
Oh, implement a recycling program. Jody, a great environmentalist. She's gonna save the world. She's gonna do it for the children and stop global warming, I hear. Okay, let's move on.
The women's prison in Goodyear houses thousands of women, and each week, huge loads of waste are hauled off to a landfill.
I wish they would haul your words away to the landfill, Jody, because that's the worst waste of all I've been hearing.
A substantial portion of that could be kept out of the landfill and recycled instead. It may even create new jobs for the people there.
Oh, she can help the employment and the economy. I wondered how we were going to get out of this recession. Now we all know.
This is one small thing that could have a far-reaching and positive impact on the community and on the planet.
The planet, not
There's a higher rate
not the solar system and the universe and the galaxy. Come on, Jody, you do better than that.
of illiteracy in prison
Illiteracy.
than in everyday society.
I'm glad I talk perfect.
I know that reading has enriched my life by expanding my knowledge base and opening my eyes to new worlds and different cultures. I can help other women become literate so that they too can add that dimension to their lives.
I can teach them 2 words in particular, edify and contemporaneous. In fact, I can teach it to them in sign language, and I can teach it to them in Spanish. Okay.
Along the lines of literacy, I'd like to start a book club or a reading group.
What kind of book gonna be? What book gonna be in there? I think the first one gonna be The Secret, which she first says she believed in, then don't believe in, and now believe in again.
Something that brings people together in a positive and constructive way.
Yeah, so we can talk about hating Travis and making up rise and abuse rise. I think that would be very positive for women and very edifying to them all.
So that we can share and recommend other good books and stimulate discussions of a higher nature.
Alice Firerette's book, maybe? Maybe the Seven Dwarf thing. Okay, anyway.
Additionally, I've designed a t-shirt.
Just a very complex design. Watch this thing. Because she's Einstein. Look how complicated that design was to make. This is an artist, a poet, a philosopher, a scientist, and Einstein.
Of which 100% of the proceeds go to support nonprofit organizations which also assist other victims of domestic violence.
Did she say other victims of domestic violence? I think even Nermi looks a little bit skeptical about that when she said that other victims type thing. I think victims of domestic violence aren't going to like hearing this, the ones that actually been abused. But anyway.
Some people may not believe that I am a survivor of domestic violence.
By some people, I mean you idiot jurors who don't believe all my lies. And so I'm going to give you the middle finger right now, okay?
They're entitled to their opinion.
No matter how stupid it may be in my eyes.
I'm supporting this cause because it's very, very important to me. These are only a handful of examples. I've never been to prison. I don't know from personal experience what it's like there.
But I've been to jail for a while. Okay, so, Let's move on. I'm getting sick. I'm getting nauseous. I need my Dramamine. Let's see, what's up here?
This is Bobby and I. It's a little out of order chronologically. We're hanging out in our dirty little rundown house in Montague.
Dirty little rundown house. I think this should save her from the death penalty.
I mentioned previously. At times we lived there without power and phone.
How did
the
you
winters were
survive?
freezing. We could see our breath inside the house.
Poor Jody.
My parents did not support this relationship.
Gee, I wonder why.
When we were young, just trying to figure out life.
Yes. They were so mean to me. They told me I couldn't commit illegal things in their house and everything. And so I gave them the finger and moved out. And then they didn't support me when I moved out. I don't know what the problem
When this picture...
Kicking my mom, killing the
When I
dog.
see this picture, I'm reminded of that quote by Charles Dickens when he says they were the best of times and the worst of times.
Did she just quote poetry? I thought a great poet like her would come up with her own rhymes instead of plagiarizing. Anyway. Oh, that's right. She traced all her art, too. Okay, let's see what else happened.
We're smiling here in this picture to be signifies that. It was a difficult relationship, but Bobby will always be special to me.
What did Bobby have to do with anything, Jody? Just wondering.
This is a photo of Matt McCartney and I,
Matt.
taken a few months after we broke up. A few months after he moved down to Big Sur where I was working at Ventana. As you know, we remained friends, and on this day we utilized Ventana's company passes to tour the Monterey Aquarium. Daryl and I began seeing each other a little over a year after that.
Well, what they going to a vampire festival or something there? I think her makeup looked very appropriate. Anyone see that ghost picture where she hanging in the background where Travis is sitting and she way off in the distance? Very creepy. Maybe you guys will see it sometime.
In this photo, I'm coming out of a redheaded stage that I went through for a few years.
Did she just say a redheaded stage? I think that's very important for the jury to know. Mitigating factor. She had a redheaded stage. I'm so glad she put the really important things. Is this her manifesto? I think it is.
This is one of my favorite pictures of Daryl and me. We were at Chico's, a restaurant in Monterey, where our friend Tony and his band were playing blues and reggae live.
What did you have for dinner that night, Jody? And what did you have for dessert? I would also be very interested in the outfit that you wore. And did you just say you listened to reggae music? Because if you did say that, that could be a death penalty offense in the eyes of some people. Okay. Hey, don't write me letters, okay? I'm not picking what is going on.
He dedicated songs to us and we danced. Daryl was a good dancer.
All right, Jody. I've had about
When we
enough.
began dating, we started a yearly tradition in which Daryl and Jack and I did a lot of things together.
Okay.
Here we rode the aerial tram in Palm Springs to the top of the San Jacinto Mountains. Daryl's ex-wife took this picture. We were all at Chuck E. Cheese's celebrating Jack's 7th birthday.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Jack and I bonded. He's a great kid. I haven't seen him since June 3rd, 2008.
Yeah, the day before I murdered Travis, I had to stop there and visit, and I saw him for a few minutes when I was getting all them gas cans to try to make my premeditation covert operation. But I did bail on the kid a few months earlier when or actually about a year earlier. The very instant I decided I was interested in Travis, I bailed on Daryl and the kid. Okay, she don't talk about that part. Anyway, enough of Jody. She's making me sick as always, but predictable as always. Let's move on to a couple things from Wilmot. Let's look at a couple of clips from Wilmot.
To shape this case into something to be nothing more than lies and manipulation. Like somehow every word out of Jody's mouth has been nothing more than a lie.
Did you just say that, Wilmot, as if you don't believe it? As if Jody was just telling lies. The shock.
And her own witnesses. That's what the state wants you to believe. And that somehow lying is appropriate now.
Somehow lying is not the truth. Jody said today, I lied to you before about the lying lies that I was lying about when I lied about the lying lies, but now I'm not lying about the lying lies that I lied about when I lied, okay? That's what she said.
Somehow the state believes because there's been lying that she should get the death penalty for that.
No, I think it's the murder,
A
Wilmot.
for
I think that does
punishment
that.
of life in prison.
Hey, is that Nermy really serious about this client, or is he still being Nermy back there? What's going on?
Mitigating factors are completely unrelated. Completely unrelated to and separate from the first-degree murder. Another reason to consider giving her life in prison is the fact that Jody was a good friend.
To who?
That there are people who care about her.
She was a good friend to Daryl and that kid. She got to know them and then bailed on them the instant she interested in Travis. She said, hey, see you later. Too bad you bond to me. Bye-bye. Okay, really good friend. Hey, I noticed Daryl Brewer was on the list to come testify on her behalf, but for some reason he don't show up. Neither did anybody else. I wonder why.
And when we talk about these people, you heard them when they testified during the guilt phase.
Let's see what else we got here.
But she is not a one-dimensional character. She had made so many other...
You're right. Jody have more varieties of evil in here than anybody I ever have seen, Wilmot. She not one-dimensional at all. Let's see what else she's
people
going to say.
happy in her life.
She made people happy. I'd like to know who. Mom, Dad, friends she bailed out on, Daryl Brewer, people she murdered, everybody who says she a psycho, they don't want to be around her, she a pariah. I'd like to know who these people are. Where are they? How come they not testifying? Wait, I think I know who. Wait, let's go find out. Go up here a little bit ways.
Jody's life now is the fact that she has always tried to improve her life. She has always tried to make the best of her life.
Did you go to
You
college?
heard from Gus Searcy.
Gus Searcy? Wait, let's see who that is. This guy? We heard from Gus Searcy. Yes, we did. We wish we didn't. And this guy is a joke of all time. So if they got to bring him in, they in pretty bad shape, if that's the friend. Just the pyramid scheme guy from PPL, Mr. Sleazebag. Anyway, what else you got to say, Wilmot?
During the guilt phase. And he told you that she was the utmost professional at PPL.
Absolutely.
Shows you something that is valuable in her life. She has goals. Even in prison, she can have goals. And the fact that she's thinking ahead...
Yeah, do you know that actually in jail, her hair grows? And when she trims it, she donates it. I've never seen such self-sacrifice in my life, have you? But I want you to pay attention to the next ritual section, because this is the reason she should definitely get the death penalty. As we saw, she got no remorse, and none whatsoever. She's not taking responsibility for her crime. But the next thing Wermont say is going to show that Jody is going to spend the rest of her life in jail if she gets a life sentence, tormenting Travis Alexander family with lies about Travis, writing books about it, starting a book club about it, and doing everything she can to continue to torment that family and kill him all over again every day for the next 800,000 days or however many she live. So listen to this part.
Of what she can do for this world still is important and valuable. She has the ability to teach people Spanish. She wants to know, she knows that illiteracy is a problem in this country. And she knows that she has the ability to teach people to read and to write. With her, we know that she's an amazing poet, an artist,
scientist,
philosopher, and an excellent writer.
She's a cardinal.
She wants to use those talents to be able to dedicate to the domestic violence awareness.
She wants to use all of that so that she can start a little domestic violence club to talk about the evil Travis who rejected her, and make her feel like used toilet paper. So, and that tell us that she's going to continue on.
And to help people become aware of the problems with domestic violence.
Like the serious problems she have, being called a name or two, and having consensual sex with someone that she teach him how to do, anal and everything. How very abusive. Okay, let's see where she throws Mom under the bus. Mom that's been there for her all along.
Things changed. Jody could feel it. Jody all of a sudden was no longer getting along with her mother. She couldn't do anything right in her mother's eyes. She was getting grounded for inexplainable reasons.
Oh, right. Kicking Mom and killing the dog and things like that, and growing the pot on the roof and running off all the time and not coming home. Hey, now what kind of unreasonable parents she got anyway? Those ogres, those abusers. Doggy boy. She was portrayed with a wooden spoon. And by the way, we'll not go on to say her dad abusive to the mom, because, Dad put a picture of the mom on the wall, and that very abusive. Okay, so let's see what she say about her self-esteem.
You remain loyal. We know from all the psychological testing that was completed with Jody, we know one thing for sure, that she has a very low self-esteem. She thinks she Einstein and brilliant and wrote the manifesto because she's going to be famous. In fact, ain't that the same Jody that lined up a whole bunch of interviews that she's doing at this very moment and demanded makeup and a whole bunch of other things and always want to be in front of the camera every moment of every day she ever can? That's the one with no self-esteem. Okay, and believe that she's above everything. Man's law, God's law, everything else under the sun. All right, move on. I'm getting sick again. Almost no ego. We know that she suffered from depression.
Lermont, the only thing she don't have any is confession, remorse, and repentance. Those things she absolutely got none of. All right, let's move on. What else we got here? Say she have value. I don't know. Let's move on to Juan. See if he got a couple things to say. Oh, actually, it's going to be hard to watch Juan's because he get objections from Wilmot every 3 seconds. Juan don't object to her thing here, her opening statement, not a single time, but she do like 15 objections.
As you debate or you decide this case, you shouldn't forget what you saw in exhibit.
Look how pissed off Jody is when she's listening to Juan. She kept mouthing words to women. Objection. That's all you got to know about Juan's statement. It was nothing but objections. And meanwhile, Jody got bored with this whole thing and started doing art again. Even though this is the final argument for death penalty or not. Hey, what's she whispering to her? I think she was saying something like, don't worry, when this all be over, we're going to go to Disneyland, okay? So stop fretting, on the way home. And there Jody doing her art because she's getting bored with the whole thing. And she going, maybe if I do some trace. Hey, anybody out there got a Vogue magazine I can use for, to do some original artwork? Anyway, I think that you need to see the expression on Sky Hugh's face. So we're going to scroll ahead a tiny bit. I think this is from when she had to listen to all that crap Jody were spewing. Yeah, there's Sky Hughes, listening about the poet, the philosopher, the brilliant scientist, the artist, the writer, the author, you know, the person who's going to cure cancer and all that other stuff, the seller of hair and the red hair phase. Okay, so that kind of tell you what all the observers are feeling about the whole thing. I think we're going to close because I got no time tonight. Oh, one more thing we got to check out before we go, and just in case you haven't seen it, you know, in honor of Aris Raviaret and everything, we certainly wanted to show you that the abusive Seven Dwarfs and Jody, she decided to join into them, and she became the one known as Stabby, you know, Stabby. So, don't want to go without showing you that. And then we can go to our closing comment, okay? All right. Okay, everybody. Just like a little clockwork orange thing. Remember that? I forget how the actual pose went. But, you know, Jody would have fit in with that crowd. Actually, the crowd that followed her all would fit in with that crowd. Anyway, I just wanted to say one more thing. You know what it is. Oh, wait. First, I got to tell you, I've had, like, hundreds and hundreds of great comments on the other videos and things that we do. I desperately want to respond to everyone. I have read every single one of them, I promise. Want to respond to everyone. We'll do it in a vlog sometime soon. Maybe by the weekend, if don't have time before then. Hopefully by then we have, you know, a penalty. We have the jury coming back and tell us what the actual penalty is going to be. So until then, of course, you know what I'm going to tell you. Don't go with no sociopath, okay? All right, see you later on. Let's hope we have the right outcome. But if we don't, justice will be done in God's hands.